Welcome to Ring Rust. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is Dan Kane.
Dan Kane.
The Dr. Phil Seitz.
We'll see you guys next week.
The
Dan
man
Kane.
who touches you in the shower. Coach Loudy.
You think you know me, brother?
Dan Kane.
And finally, our good friend, Kendo Slice.
Contrary to popular belief, Carmella is not Miss Money in the Bank. I am.
Dan Kane.
Do you smell what the Dan Kane is cooking?
Is Dan
Pancakes, Dan. Pancakes.
Kane the new Bob Dole?
Bob
Dan
Dole.
Kane.
Bob Dole!
Kane.
Bob Dole! Bob Dole!
Proves this message. Dan Kane likes your style.
Bob Dole!
So this is the third episode of the reboot of Ring Rust, and tonight we're going to take it back 16
Bob Dole.
years. Yes, all the way to a Bob Dole's dick still worked. The year 2001. February 25th, 2001 to be exact. We're going to discuss in what is, in my opinion, one of the greatest WWF-produced pay-per-views of all time, No Way Out 2001. But before we get into all the fun of that, let's start the show off like we do every week with This Day in Wrestling History.
We have three separate things that are of significant enough importance this day. The least important is WWE The Bash 2009.
The Bash.
What happened on that show? Does anyone remember off the top of their head?
I have the entire match card right here. I will read. Tommy Dreamer retained the ECW title in Championship Scramble.
Tommy Dreamer?
Rey Mysterio beat Jericho in a mask versus title match for the Intercontinental Belt. That was a good one.
Bob Dole.
Jericho and Edge won the tag titles. Jeff Hardy won by disqualification against CM Punk. And the main event was Randy Orton retaining the WWE Championship in a 3 stages of hell with Triple H.
And Bob Dole.
I don't know if I saw this pay-per-view because this was during my 7-Up phase where I didn't have a life.
Yeah!
I remember the 7-Up phase.
Yeah, never again.
The Uncold.
So what else happened on this day in wrestling history, Dan?
On this day, the only reason I'm bringing up this Monday Night Raw is because it was the Monday Night Raw where Stone Cold defeated The Undertaker for the WWF Championship.
That was the night after King of the Ring, right?
Yeah. King of the Ring 1999.
That's a pretty okay show.
Yeah, it happened.
It's not going to get a Ring Rust episode until we're kind of thinned out on quality shows, but I do like the Rock versus Undertaker.
Yeah.
And the most important thing that happened on this day is King of the Ring 1998.
What happened on that show, Dan?
Woo!
Oh, you know some things. The Headbangers and Taka beat Kai and Tai.
Yes.
Ken Shamrock beat Jeff Jarrett. The Rock beat Dan Severn. Too Cool beat Al Snow and Head in a tag team match.
I remember that match. Head got pinned because they used the Head and Head and Shoulders shampoo, and that's how they pinned Head.
Thanks, Loudy.
You're welcome.
X-Pac beat a dead guy, Owen Hart.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
The New Age Outlaws beat Bodacious Bart and Bombastic Bob.
Is that Bob Holly?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And Bart Gunn.
I like Bodacious better.
What was their tag
Ken-
name? What, did they have one?
The Midnight Express.
Midnight Express. That's
The new Midnight Express.
Yes.
Ken Shamrock defeated The Rock by submission to become the King of the Ring, and in Loudy's head, Ken Shamrock refused to release the hold, and then the Rock retained the Intercontinental title.
Sure as fuck did.
The Undertaker beat Mankind in some match.
Probably wasn't important.
No.
Not short at all. And
Well,
then
joking aside,
Kane beat...
Joking aside, let's talk about that match in a second. So Kane fought Stone Cold Steve Austin in a First Blood match, and the Hell in a Cell eventually
Kane
lowered.
beat Stone Cold in a First Blood match because, you know, dude with a mask in a First Blood match.
Yeah, he's wearing like a full bodysuit at that point, wasn't he?
Yep.
He didn't have the one sleeve off yet, did he?
No, I don't think so. But this was after he got rid of the cape.
Yep, that one time he was Pimp Kane.
The Pimp Kane. I want that action figure, Pimp Kane.
Pimp Kane.
That sounds like Dan's alter ego.
Pimp Kane. And Kane.
Pimp Kane versus Dan Kane. All right.
Nobody wins.
Sounds like a 2K17 match for the ages.
Yeah, let's save it for 2K18.
Yeah.
You know, the closer we get to that game, the more excited I get.
Right?
Like, I'm ready.
Yeah,
for
it's gonna be
new
exciting.
wrestling.
Anything but the gameplay yet.
I hope it doesn't suck. That's all that matters.
Well,
Yes.
look at it this way: since it's not going to be on the last gen consoles, I feel like it really opens it up, like we were talking about last week. You know, to actually make it a better game and not have to hold shit back because of the older console.
My guess is that they're going to include every legend that has been in the PS4 editions.
You think you know me, you think
The only thing that I'm looking forward to is if it's like how the 360 PS3 WWE 12 was the first one that was on that gen, and it was very fucked.
How so? I don't remember what was wrong with 12, besides the glitch.
That was the one where we had the glitch where if we stole a finisher, we would just stretch the custom superstars out and they'd cover the entire screen.
That was awesome. I want that back. I'll pay extra. I'll pay $1.99 for that feature.
Well, hey, if you want, I can just bring my copy of WWE 12 over.
You know, you say that sarcastically. One week I would like you to bring over an old game. We should all play it together.
Just the game.
Sure.
Don't bring.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Don't bring the console, just the game.
Bring the system game. I will.
All right. Does everyone enjoy the King of the Ring match between Undertaker and Mankind, or you just don't really care?
Oh, I loved that. Was one of my favorite matches growing up as a kid. I remember watching it live, and holy shit! I remember when they went to the top because I vaguely remember watching Undertaker Shawn Michaels Hell in the Cell match as a kid and loving it. Something about the Hell in the Cell match. I don't know if it was the name and the fact that I was immature and 7 years old and the fact that I could say hell and get away with it made me like it, or what. But like once the Undertaker Mankind match came around and like they actually did some more shit with it, it was just, for me, it was captivating. It was one of the biggest reasons I still followed wrestling at the time.
Oh, what a story, Mark.
I like that match, but it made me hate The Undertaker.
Why?
Because I liked Mankind, and to see The Undertaker throw him off a fucking roof, I was like, you son of a bitch.
Well, see, this is where Kid Loudy and...
What happens?
Something about Kid Loudy. Maybe he just got.
Lose him?
Yeah. Maybe Kid Loudy just got kidnapped.
I thought my internet dropped out.
Kid Loudy got molested by adult Undertaker.
Oh,
No,
That's why he retired.
The coach came out of Loudy and molested.
Jonathan Coachman rapes a 7-year-old.
Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, moving on. I enjoyed that match because, Undertaker's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I never saw it live, of course, but I believe that was the first wrestling match I ever saw. My stepbrother showed it to me. So, and he was a big WWE fan before I was.
That's a pretty good match to start with. I don't remember what the first match I ever saw was, but the first match I ever remember watching all the way through was The Rock versus Big Boss Man on an episode of SmackDown. So you kind of got the edge on this one.
I thought you were going to say Rock Boss Man at Survivor Series, the 4-second match.
Hey, I like that match.
Hey, that was a great superstar, Rock Boss Man.
Yeah. The Rock Boss says. No, but Phil, have you ever gone back and watched the Undertaker Stone Cold match the night after King of the Ring?
I have.
It's a good match. It's a
Yes,
good
it is.
show.
Very good match.
That was right around the time where I feel The Rock was getting ready to overtake Stone Cold.
Oh, yeah.
Because he starts to feud with he starts to feud with Triple H that night again, which back then didn't feel, tired or anything. And then Billy Gunn gets involved with that feud, and then it goes into the Kiss My Ass match, which is awesome. '99 was a good year. Like, I don't care what Walt Culture says. I like 1999 WWF.
Walt who?
What culture?
I'll just.
Oh, what culture?
Horticulture. I don't know.
Horticulture.
Pedophilia.
Boulder Dash.
Bullshit.
World class.
So, speaking of bullshit, guys, let's talk about what happened on Raw and SmackDown this week. Phil, take her away.
Raw started with Reigns coming to the ring and running his mouth, accepting Strowman's challenge. An ambulance came out. Roman walked up to it. Strowman wasn't in it, but he came out of the side, threw him up on stage, and then threw him into the ambulance. That was actually kind of a cool spot. And then he tossed him inside the ambulance. Elias Sampson came out to give a concert with Cesaro and Sheamus.
Drifter!
Was interrupted by the Hardys. We were robbed of a great song. I would have loved to hear that. And then the Hardy Boys and Finn Balor defeated Sheamus, Cesaro, and Elias Sampson. Goldust delivered a backstage promo. Then Goldust and R-Truth came out for their match, and Goldust beat the shit out of him. And he had a cameraman out there with him, and a camera that was painted gold. And he filmed the whole thing for some reason. The Miz hosted an episode of Miz TV with special guests LeVar, Lonzo, and LaMelo Ball. I didn't know who they were before the match, and I still don't know who they are now. All I know is that one of them uttered a racial slur.
More than
Who would be the youngest one? LaMelo.
And then Dean Ambrose came out and interrupted it. The Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel defeated Rhino, Heath Slater, and Dean Ambrose. Enzo Amore had cast on his heel turn, and they made up, and they were reunited for 2.5 minutes, and that was the greatest thing ever. I don't know if anybody. I was like, oh, come on, this is bullshit. I can't believe they're going to go back together after a week. And then he just fucking clotheslines his ass on the stage. I thought that was awesome.
They got me because I thought they were getting back together, and I was like, yay, good, I like Enzo and Cass together. And then they got me. That's the first time in years.
They got me good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Where the fuck did Enzo Amore learn to act?
They show
Because all of a
little
sudden he's
specks
good.
Enzo's always been good on the mic.
No. He's always been fine with his material, but all of a sudden he's like a legit actor. He's better than Eric Roberts. This dude could,
he
carry
even
a
shed
film.
a tear.
I was very impressed, and I have high standards for movies.
I was as well.
Well, maybe that segment will win an Emmy.
Wouldn't you shit if the WWE won an Emmy for the Enzo and Cass moment?
That would be pretty cool.
Just because
How
he
you
cried
doing?
on camera.
Yeah, and the Emmy for best dramatic performance goes to Enzo Amore, and the Enzo and Cass split up.
You're my brother.
How you doing?
Brother, man, brother.
The next
Dude.
segment, I didn't understand why they would put Seth Rollins up against Kurt Hawkins. I don't know. It didn't make much sense to me.
They
Use the
wanted
max.
Seth Rollins to win.
Right, but he could have faced somebody more legitimate, in my opinion. But anyway, then Bray Wyatt taunted him, and that was the end of that. Paul Heyman came to the ring and ran down Samoa Joe, saying Joe should be smarter. And now is his time to fear Brock Lesnar. Lesnar came out, and Joe came out and beat his ass on stage. It was actually a good segment. A lot of Brock Lesnar's fights, like, they look very stiff, and Samoa Joe really helps him out on these because it all looks legitimate. I mean, his face was so fucking red.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. Like, his face was red, and then where his eyebrows are supposed to be was white.
It's like he had no eyebrows at that point.
Yeah, it was funny. It was good. That's the one match I'm excited about at Great Balls of Fire.
I've come to the realization recently, there's about 5 dudes on Raw that I like, and so I can watch the show and not hate every minute of it.
Yeah.
Woo!
There you
Yeah,
go.
because I like Samoa Joe a lot. I like Finn Balor. Seth Rollins is cool. Who else is on Raw that I'm... Oh, I like Braun Strowman, obviously. That dude's hilarious for all the wrong reasons. What I'm hoping is that Brock Lesnar just gets his shit pushed in really quick.
Yeah, but he's going to win the match. You know Brock Lesnar's not going to go into SummerSlam and lose the title beforehand. I don't see that happening.
Let me fucking dream.
He has to lose it to Reigns at SummerSlam.
Unless he loses the title and becomes a triple threat at SummerSlam.
That would actually be pretty goddamn good.
That'd be cool.
I mean, but we all know that third guy is Roman Reigns, or Ramirez.
I hope he dies. Anyway, Neville defeated Lince Dorado. I don't know who the fuck that is. This was a non-title match, and then
Cruiserweights.
And then Akira Tozawa was announced to be the number 1 contender and will face Neville at Balls of Fire.
I like Tozawa enough.
Don't forget, he's also part of the Titus brand now.
Yeah,
try to forget that every day.
Titus O'Neil in that role. I think he's a good manager. He's a better manager than he is a wrestler.
Yeah.
I was always okay with Titus O'Neil existing. There are some wrestlers that I just wish weren't part of WWE. Darren Young was one of them. But Titus was always okay in my book.
Yeah, I honestly thought when he got suspended for fucking around with Vince on stage, I thought that was going to be the end of his career. So, good to see him doing something.
Yeah.
And then the main event was a women's number 1 contender gauntlet match.
Waste of fucking time.
Very much so.
Yeah, it was okay, and then she squashed Dana Brooke and Emma so quickly that it killed the legitimacy of the match. Yeah. So Sasha Banks defeated Nia Jax. Nia Jax pinned everybody else beforehand, though. And that's the other thing. I don't see Sasha Banks being that contender against Nia Jax. It just doesn't fit, you know.
It's not realistic.
I get the small, I get the little guy overcoming the big odds or whatever, but it's like Sasha Banks is garbage. I used to like Sasha Banks down in NXT, but she's no good up on the main roster. I almost wish they would send her back to NXT.
I like to look at her and her giant forehead.
And then I didn't understand. After the match, Kurt Angle came out, congratulated Sasha, and raised her hand. Then Alexa Bliss came out and taunted Banks with the belt. Sasha knocked Bliss out of the ring with a drop kick, and posed with the title, and then they went off air. I didn't. What was the point in Kurt Angle coming down and endorsing Sasha Banks? I just don't understand it. Why did that need to happen?
Just so that you can get upset about it.
She's not, she's not legitimate enough. I don't understand why that was the main event of Raw.
Because they're pushing for women wrestling, even though they're not that good.
I would have rather had Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns for the main event of Raw.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
At least Braun Strowman's going to entertain the shit out of you.
Yeah, at least there's people on Raw now that actually entertain us. Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe. What the fuck was that?
Anyway, take us over to SmackDown.
You know what part I just hit, Jeff.
Loudy.
All right, well, guys, on SmackDown, they kick off with Daniel Bryan coming out and cutting his promo about the match that was going to happen later that night. In come Carmella and the chinless one, Ellsworth. Yeah, whatever the fuck his name is, Ellsworth. There we go.
Jimmy Dream.
Interrupt. Yeah, and then he starts fucking talking shit to Daniel Bryan, saying, "Oh, you're just upset because you have made some hokey excuse up so that you can't wrestle anymore, and this, that, and the other." And then Daniel Bryan kicks him out of the arena so that he can't interfere in the ladder match later that night. After they were done, we were followed up by the tag match between the Hype Bros and the Usos. which was actually a fairly decent match. It ended up with the Usos winning over the Hype Bros. After that, we got a nice taste of the Fashion Vice.
Mm-hmm.
They that finally came back. It was a very entertaining segment, actually.
Did it play the music?
It has. Oh, it played the music, sir. It played the music. Let's see. After that, it pans into the Ascension getting interrogated by Fandango, and he's acting like the good cop because they're trying to do this good cop bad cop thing. Well, they both end up playing good cop, and they're offered 2 tickets to Paradise, literally 2 tickets with Eddie money written on them, and then
The best part is
fucking Tyler.
when they went to each other, and he's like, "I think we were both playing good cop there." He's like, "No, we're great.
No, we're
cops."
playing great cops. that was pretty fucking hilarious. And then the next thing you know, they hear a noise outside the door, and someone trashed their office. So it obviously wasn't the Ascension. And then it pans over to the Ascension, and this is probably the most personality I've ever seen the Ascension show, because like Victor wants to grab the Eddie Money tickets, but Connor's like, no. We'll listen to grunge death metal or whatever, something like that. And he was like, "Oh, okay." Like he was all sad. And then it pans back over to him after they check and see that their office was attacked, and they're eating the cheese off the platter. And they both grab a ticket and slide it toward him. And that was the end of the end of that segment.
They nodded at each other. We're going to Eddie Money.
Once again,
Yeah.
Great segment from the Fashion Police.
It was. It really was. The Fashion Police are probably one of the best things going on SmackDown right now. Ooh, I also forgot to mention, because no one's going to give a shit anyway, that after the Hype Bros and the Usos ended, the New Day came out, and they parodied the old Booker T promo, letting the Usos they were coming for him. And that leads into not only a tag title match at Battleground, but it's also going to give us a rap battle next week between the New Days and the Usos.
Yes.
So yes, I know, right? That's probably one of the most things I'm excited for ever.
I
you
am chubbed up thinking about it.
God, I can't wait for that to be over.
Well, here's something that was over pretty quick. The following match after that segment was Imone versus Anal in a women's title rematch, which lasted all of maybe 3 minutes if you're lucky.
It was
started
a
off,
minute 47.
Yeah, it was a shorty.
Exactly, something like that.
The real question is, though, how many crotch shots were there from Lana?
None. There wasn't enough time.
Very little. None.
Fuck.
Yeah, we got ripped
Not enough
off.
time. Fucking. Yep, Lana attacks her before the match starts. Then the match starts, hits her with her finisher, gets a 2 count. Then she gets all upset. She goes to do something, and then Naomi gives her a fucking kick in the head, drags her, split-legged moonsault, and the fucking match is over. It was over and done with, like Phil said, in probably a minute 47. So any push that Lana was going to have looks like it is fucking gone.
Good.
Yeah, unfortunately. Then we get treated to fucking Aiden English trying to do his opera gimmick, and then Randy Orton interrupts that. During the commercial, he gives him an RKO because he won't leave the ring, so he sits there and says he's not leaving until fucking Jinder Mahal comes out, and he gets what he wants from Jinder Mahal, and it doesn't matter where he is, he's gonna kick his ass. And then Shane, and he's like, "Well, guess I'm gonna have to whoop some ass in the back." And as soon as he gets to leave the ring, Shane comes out and then cuts his promo like, "Hey, I can't let you do this. You know what?" He's like, "If you want that title rematch, I'll give it to you. But Jinder Mahal being the champion, he's going to pick the stipulation," which brings back everybody's favorite match from 2007, the Punjabi prison match.
Yes.
And they actually, it was kind of weird because he actually referenced the Great Khali. I didn't think they were going to do that.
He said he was his
I
hero.
don't know if he let the company
Yeah.
on terms or not. Yeah, I know. He said he was what? I don't get. How is that your hero? Because he's Punjab? I don't know.
He's the worst. He's probably the worst wrestler in history, isn't he?
Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah. Could you imagine a match between him and Giant Gonzalez?
No! Just shut up. Keep going.
All right, so continuing onward, then we cut to a back segment between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan talking
The
about
back segment.
the back segment. And then Kevin Owens comes in and he's like, talking about his open challenge from the week prior. He's like, with next week being July 4th, we're going to have an invitational battle royal, and the winner of that gets to face Kevin Owens for the United States Championship, and obviously AJ Styles is in that match. Favorite couple, Mike and Maria Kanellis, came out, and probably about 30 seconds into their shit, Sami Zayn did the one thing that I've loved in a while. He interrupts them, runs right in between them, and does his entrance, looks back like, oh, sorry, I've got a match.
All she did was say, I am Maria Kanellis, and he just came out and it was hilarious.
I am Maria Kanellis, and the match is over.
That was the only thing that's made me like him since he's been there.
Yeah, and then obviously, so he faced Baron Corbin, which I thought personally was not too bad of a match. I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but Sami Zayn carried that match.
I was going to say, one of the things that I noticed about Corbin when he came out, he showed no personality. He's walking down that ramp with that briefcase, and he's like trying to rub it in people's faces in the crowd, and he's like, he's like so fucking dull. It's like, dude, be more excited. You're Money in the Bank. You're gonna be a champion.
It's almost like he's just walking to work with his briefcase, like just kind of looking at people as he walks by. It's
he's walking down the ramp like Vince just told him, oh, by the way, you're not gonna win a title with that. You're gonna lose. You catch.
That's probably what he fucking told Damian Sandow too. But Damian Sandow at least has fucking personality.
At least they made him a custom briefcase.
Yeah, that too. And then during the match, it cuts back to Shinsuke watching the match. He cuts a short little promo on Baron Corbin after the match, saying that Baron Corbin's driven by fear of what I can do and all this, that, and the other. After that, we get our main event, which for the second night in a row is a women's match, and it's the second ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which actually wasn't too bad. There was some decent spots, not like ones that I thought we were going to get, but decent for it being a women's ladder match. There was one point in the match where Carmella, everyone, it's like right at the beginning, everyone's beating the shit out of each other, but since there's five, Carmella's looking around like, well, I guess I'm going to climb this ladder. So she tries to win it early. It doesn't happen. There were some almost spots where you thought, hey, someone else other than Carmella might win it. James Ellsworth comes out of the crowd towards the end of the match, and he tries to climb the ladder again, but right when he gets to the top, there's Becky Lynch to be like, nah, motherfucker, not today. She ends up moving the ladder and pushes him off the side. He ends up taking a nut shot to the top rope, hitting the apron and then falling to the floor, which is probably one of the best bumps I've seen him take in a while. She's going to go climb, but Carmella comes in the ring, pulls her down, she tweaks her knee, and then she kicks Carmella out of the ring, tries to get it again. Carmella comes in with the chair, beats her knee in, and Carmella climbs it and wins the match again to become Miss Money in the Bank again, and that is SmackDown.
That sounds okay.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It could have. There are some things that could have been better. The Fashion Police were probably the highlight of the night next to the Hype Bros.
The Hype Bros fucking
Hype Bros are never the hype.
Yeah, I like the Hype Bros.
I think what could have improved the
That's
show
sad.
greatly is at the beginning when the security came down to take Ellsworth out of the arena, if they would have just, beat the shit out of him a little bit.
Yeah, that'd have been nice.
That would have been fun, just to watch him rough the hell out of him. He needed it. Then he wouldn't have ran in at the end. He'd been too busted up.
So
Yep.
I just timed that match. It was 41 seconds.
Which match?
The Lana and Naomi.
Oh, Lana and Naomi.
41 seconds from bell to bell.
Bullshit.
Oh,
That's
from bell to
bullshit.
bell.
You could get one or two crotch shots in there for real.
No, there wasn't.
You
Because
could
the match
though.
started with Lana attacking Naomi, and then the ref asked her if she's okay. Lana hit her finisher. Naomi kicks out. She stands up. Naomi super kicks her and then hits with the double leg moonsault.
Is that where she jumps
That's when-
with her ass in the face?
No,
No.
that's split rear view.
It's a
No,
starship.
no.
It's a starship
It's a-
pain.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought about it when she fucking did. I'm like, when she started doing Starship Pain.
Well, it wasn't
Well,
even
I'm glad I didn't
Starship
watch.
Pain. He twists. She didn't twist. She just did a flip.
You know who had a pretty shitty moonsault, but everyone gives her credit? Lita.
Yeah.
Her
Lita's-
moonsault was really fucking... Like, overall, Lita was kind of a sloppy wrestler. Sounds like
Yeah,
a
she
sloppy
was
chick,
all about
too.
the flip doing shit.
Like, I loved them back in the day, Hardy Boys and Lita, but as an adult, the Hardy Boys are still awesome. Lita, she was cool, but she was never that good. Like,
Yeah,
Trish Stratus got
she
good.
didn't age well either.
No, remember when we saw her at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Oh.
She did not look good. Kendo, we were literally 5 feet from her.
Oh, Lita?
Yeah, because we were at the arena trying to get to our seats, but the Citrus Bowl does not have locker rooms, so they had trailers in the back, like of the arena, and our section was cordoned off. So we had to walk around the entire arena to get to our seats from where we were. And Lita
That was some
like,
fucking bullshit.
yeah, we were walking out, and there was Lita, and I was just like, oh, there's Lita. Ugh.
I don't get it, man. Everybody's like, Lita's always thought of like, everyone's like, she's hot, she's so hot, she's so hot. I never saw that. Never.
Nope, never.
I
I
thought
think Lita was
I
kind of
thought
ugly.
she was attractive, but now she's not really that attractive.
Lita looked so skanky back in the day.
Yeah, I was going to say, she looks better now than she did then, but that's not saying much.
I'm with you there 100%. I would watch wrestling back in the day and be like, man, Trish Stratus is hot. Terry's
Yes.
pretty good looking. We're talking, this is pre-Tori Wilson and Stacey Keebler. So we're working with a really thin roster of women. I liked Deborah because of her giant boobs, but she was not that hot in the face. She had a nice body.
No.
Neck down, she was a 10.
Yes.
Face, 5, 6? I don't know. She was a shitty cook, too, so fuck that woman. But Trish was the hottest, and then I guess, I don't know, Tori was okay? Not Tori Wilson, but the other Tori?
About Sable.
Sable was hot, but I wasn't. Sable had gone by the time I started watching wrestling.
She had a great body,
yeah,
but
that's
I
right.
didn't like her face.
Sable
Sable?
Yeah.
sent an adolescent Kendo Slice to bed happy many times.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Going
I
back.
begged
Okay.
my dad. I bet I was like 16 or so when she 17 when she did Playboy. I literally begged my dad to let me use his debit card to order Playboy and gave him the money for it. His whole thing was, "That's cool, just don't tell your mom." And I get to look at him first. I'm like, okay.
Father Slice sounds like a cool guy.
Oh, Father
Father
Slice.
Slice. That's an awesome name.
Oh yeah.
Going back to SmackDown, I will say one thing that would have made that match better, the Lana Naomi match, if Lana actually won it at Money in the Bank, and then that was a really quick win back for Naomi.
Yeah.
I think it would have fueled the feud a little more.
Well, so that's the thing. I don't think there's gonna be a feud.
Oh, I do.
I
I think
think a
that's
match
far
like
from
that. I think a match like that says you're fucking done, son.
No, I think that's far from over.
I think Lana should get a rematch, and right before Naomi wins, Rusev comes out, super kicks Naomi right in the face when the ref isn't looking. Lana wins 1, 2, 3.
But that
Hey, that's not PG.
unfortunate. I want to see that, but that
Yeah,
won't.
so do I. And then I want to see Rusev beat Jinder Mahal for the title, and Lana and Rusev are world champions on SmackDown together.
But
Live
you know,
sex celebration.
You know, Jeff, if Rusev wins it, guess who's going after him?
It doesn't
John
matter
Cena.
because John Cena's going after Jinder Mahal eventually. Jinder Mahal will lose the belt to John Cena. That's how it's going to happen.
I hope not.
Cena's going to hinder.
Dude, Jinder Mahal's going to hold that belt through SummerSlam.
What if?
You leave
Well,
Bruce Jinder alone.
I think we would all be
Fuck
blown away.
gender.
I was just
Don't
saying,
assume his gender.
we would all be blown away if John Cena lost to Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would have some
Jinder.
respect for him. But you know the matches are going to be, they wrestle, they go outside, the Singh brothers fight, Cena gets hit by that one move, and that's the match. It's the 2 times Cena or Orton fought him was the exact same fucking match.
What if Orton turned heel, came out RKO's John Cena, and Jinder wins the match? My title.
We need something like that, because goddamn Randy Orton used to be my favorite wrestler. He is so fucking boring right now.
Yeah.
Oh, he got pretty angry. That was probably the most personality I've seen in a show since he burnt down the house.
He
Is
needs
this-
he needs a gimmick update. He needs a new theme song or an old one, and he needs some new moves, a new tire, just something to spruce him up. I mean, look at somebody like The Rock. though he always looked similar, like with the black trunks and shit, every couple years he had a new song, different haircuts. Triple H did the same thing too. Everybody updates their shit a little bit. Orton needs a new look. I'm really tired of like shaved head. I look like I'm going to rape you, Randy Orton.
Well, two things, and I'll give Randy Orton the benefit of the doubt there because it's not him saying that he's not going to change. It's them back. Oh, it's working. Let it go.
It's not working.
It's backstage. They're like, no, we're not changing it. It's
Phil. He's had the same theme song for 9 years. It's time to change.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just telling you. I guarantee you.
John Cena has had his for 12 years. Triple H has had his for 17 years. Come the fuck on. Well, in Triple H's case,
guarantee you, but it's not him though. It's gotta be. It's Vince. I'm telling you.
But in Triple H's case, look at Triple H has the perfect theme song. It's his favorite band. It's a kick-ass song. You don't need to change it. Edge with Metalingus had the perfect song. Orton's other theme song was better. Voices is the most arrhythmic song out there, and it's
totally
boring.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying, you know how Vince is. You heard about all the heat that Rusev got when he cut his hair? He did it against what he wasn't told to do it. He did it on his own. He got a shitload of heat for it backstage.
Should have told me he had lice. Be like, I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have lice, Vince McMahon.
I had to.
The lice.
I had Machka. There was Machka in my hair.
Machka the lice.
I was going to say, I think Randy should go back to Legend Killer.
Yeah, but he never will because he hates that old song, so those are his words.
I enjoyed
he
that.
He hates the one that we all like.
Yeah. I read an interview with him about saying that, so all I can hope for is they put that Randy Orton in the next game with the old theme song. That'll give me another wrestler to play as. But certain people like Chris Jericho don't need a new theme song. I would argue Seth Rollins does.
Oh, he does.
He's supposed to get one. Rev Theory was doing it.
You know who has a great theme song, and I hate his fucking entrance, is Finn Balor. Like, that's a cool-ass song. I just can't stand the fucking length of his entrance.
It's not necessary that he's not doing the demon gimmick anymore.
So my little brother ruined that for you, didn't he, Jeff?
Yeah, yes and no. I haven't seen it live in person. If I see it live in person, I'll enjoy it.
So next year at WrestleMania, when we see it live, you'll be like, all right.
Yeah, we'll be on the floor and all that good shit.
And then 27 minutes later, when it's still going on, you're going to be like, okay.
Dude, Dan, I'm going to go take a huge dump during that entrance.
His entrance music starts, you'll be like, perfect, I got a shit.
I'll be right back. Come back, he's still
I'll be back in an hour.
He's halfway down the ramp.
I made it! I'm back! I got a pretzel and a beer!
Jesus, he's
Who
still
wants a bite? Okay, so that was This Week in Wrestling, and it was a pretty okay week. I watched Raw the whole time, the whole show, and I was not bored. And that
When was the last time you could say that?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I hate Nia Jax now. I used to like her, but now I'm just tired of her. Here's the thing, man. Not even just back in the day, but even a few years ago, like a wrestler would evolve, and they wouldn't do the same thing constantly. Over the last couple of years, they get into this mold where they find like a specific look, song, move set, and they lock it in, and they never add anything new. I mean, Kurt Angle, within his first year and change, developed a second finishing move. Most people debut with whatever nowadays, and they just keep the same thing. It'd be nice if they just kept adding to the repertoire or changed it up every once in a while. But no, we don't get that. That's why we won't have any true superstars. We'll just have, wrestlers.
That's what I've been saying since, my position on John Cena. He needs to change. He needs to change his gimmick. And I've been saying, even Hulk Hogan changed his gimmick, He turned heel. He went to the NWO. He changed his shit. Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Revitalized his career.
He did. He really, truly did. And, even Undertaker did it. The American Badass. He went back to the Undertaker gimmick, of course, but, He changed what he was doing to keep people interested.
Yeah, I actually like the Undertaker.
Why don't they get that now?
I don't know. They need to. Like, speaking of Undertaker, though, I really liked him when he came back in 2004. I was really into him for about 2 or 3 years. Undertaker was really good from 04 to 07. And I guess in 08 he kind of petered out. No, 08 he was fine when he fought Edge.
It was that was when the injuries started piling up on him, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Edge at Mania, right?
Yeah, I was there. That was pretty cool.
That was a good match.
Yeah, it was.
It was. I saw the people get hit by the fireworks.
Nice.
We when we left early, because we left right after they rang the bell for the Taker match. Apparently, the stage caught fire.
Really?
Yeah, on our side too.
The legend lives.
Yeah, because they set off all the pyro for Taker again when he walked up the ramp, and then the stage, the wind was blowing a lot, and the stage caught fire.
It really is the ultimate thrill ride.
All right, so let's get into our main feature tonight, the main event, if you will. So, wrestling in the past was just better, flat out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think we all agree, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There used to be a point in time where if you missed an episode of Raw or SmackDown, you kicked yourself because it was good and something important happened, something that progressed the storyline, or just, something that was a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Well, now, let's go back and talk about a pay-per-view that doesn't get the praise it deserves, but, in my opinion, and probably Dan's opinion too, it's one of the best that the WWF has ever put out, No Way Out 2001. So, since we're going to go back and talk about something old, we'll go through the card, we'll talk about the build-up and the aftermath of this pay-per-view, since we, hindsight's 20/20, so we can do that, and we'll talk about what we would have done differently, if anything at all, and, we'll see where it goes. So, let's start out with the results. I have never seen the dark match before, but Rikishi defeated Matt Hardy via disqualification. Have you guys ever seen that match?
No.
Probably on Heat.
Yeah, Dan, I probably saw it on Heat back in the day too, but other than that, I don't remember it. Okay, so the opening of the card was Big Show versus Raven in a hardcore match for the WWF Hardcore Championship. Now, Kendo, I know that you said you wish they'd bring that title back. I do too. Dan does as well. I'm sure Phil does, and so does Loudy.
Yeah, I think we've all talked about that at length.
It was without a doubt the most exciting portion of an... Okay, let's take it back. Dan, remember when the Mean Street Posse... Or was it the Mean Street Posse or the Headbangers that chased after Crash Holly through the ball pit?
The Headbangers did it through the ball pit. The Mean Street Posse did it at the airport.
Okay, I was just about to say that airport one was a close second. Those were phenomenal.
I love JR's talking, there's Crash in the ball pit. Ah, crashed with a hurricane rod in the ball pit, and he escapes again.
Speaking of Crash, he showed up in this match.
He did.
As a popcorn
guy.
Well, I like when they do, disguises and shit like that.
Yeah, look at Fashion Vice.
Ninja Girl.
Was Ninja Girl Tori?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember when I was watching the show. I was like, is that Tori? She's got big enough tits to be
I
Tori.
still stand by the fact it was Luna Vachon.
Well, so is it really honestly a mystery, or
No, the mask was ripped off.
It was unmasked. It was Tori.
Yeah, it was Tori.
I did enjoy the one Billy Gunn's appearance in this match, and we got to hear the trumpet.
I was a fan
sax. Up until he was in Billy,
he won
and
the
Chuck,
title for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, with the way the internet works nowadays, imagine the Hardcore Championship and the WWE would send out tweet videos of, like, let's say Finn Balor was the Hardcore Champion, and let's say that Braun Strowman found him at, like, an Arby's and then beat him up and pinned him on the counter. And then later in the day, after, Braun Strowman's chilling out by the pool or something, fucking Roman Reigns spears him into the pool, pins him underwater, and takes out the Hardcore title. Like, every day, a fucking Hardcore title match video appears. Could you imagine how awesome that would be?
It would.
I'd be
That would be
okay
great.
with that.
That's why they need to bring it back.
With the way you consume media, they could go for a couple weeks and they could film just a string of hardcore title matches. They could be 3 to 5 minutes long, just like the vignettes on Raw used to be and SmackDown, and just upload them every day. Millions of people would watch that shit. Just make them funny and entertaining and quick, and you just got a bunch of new eyes, because even people that wouldn't watch wrestling could find these videos and go, this is kind of cool. And then they do watch wrestling, and maybe they hate it, maybe they love it, but it's still a way to get new eyes to your product instead of trying to sell to children.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, totally. That
Perfect.
They
would
just
be great.
The thing is, I guess they're hesitant to call it the Hardcore Championship because they don't do hardcore anymore. Right? Yeah. That's what sucks.
From now on, let's stop defending their dumb choices for not PG.
Oh, I'm not
Let's
defending. I'm just saying
I'm
that's
not
why
either.
they won't do it.
Clearly, I know the reasoning.
It's
Let's
just
stop
spell
talking
it out
about why they don't.
spell it out for the fans.
The 14 people that subscribe to this channel definitely know why they don't do cool stuff anymore.
Hey, we could have a lot more than that eventually.
No, we have 14.
No, we'll have a
As
lot
of now.
more eventually down the line. People come back and watch this episode.
26 of them. I say we get to 100 by Christmas.
I'll take it.
Good start.
Kids, if you're
Sounds like
listening
the
at
win
home,
for the home team.
we have a contest. If you're the 100th subscriber to this channel, you get to participate in a live sex celebration with any one of the 5 of us. Your pick.
And Dion Green will give you a rigorous hand job.
2.
A
A
painful
wiggle
hand
hand
job.
job.
Yeah, no lube included. You have to provide that yourself.
Just spit
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah, just
With
spit on
plenty
your
of
hand.
teeth.
How much teeth do you
those
want?
Are painful.
All the teeth. All the teeth.
I'll make it so dry for you.
All 42 of Edge's teeth.
Oh God! See a shark?
I don't know, SJR. Alright, so the
Alright.
next match of the night was Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and X-Pac in a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship match.
Hell of a fucking match. Hell
Yeah.
of a match.
There's not a bad match on this card.
No.
That's debatable with Jerry Lawler and Stevie Richards.
It told a story.
Yes. And it served a bit of a purpose.
And if you're going to criticize
Fair
that match,
enough.
then you better shit on stuff like Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg and Goldberg versus Kevin Owens. Pointless matches that did nothing.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, no. Dude,
All those-
I totally...
all those-
no, yeah,
All
absolutely.
those did was sell a WrestleMania 8-minute match that wasn't very good. At least this had implications. It led to real-life story where Jerry the King Lawler left the WWF, Paul Heyman was the commentator, the invasion angle happened, and then eventually, the night after the invasion, here comes Jerry Lawler back. So it was the beginning of that. So if anything, it just has...
Touché, hombre.
But back to the match we're talking about. Jericho, Benoit, Guerrero, and X-Pac. Before the match, Benoit and Guerrero were being interviewed, I guess, by Michael Cole, when Michael Cole actually meant something. And they agreed that no matter what, one of them would be leaving with the Intercontinental Championship. But it didn't happen. Do you guys have any highlights of this match?
I'd say mine probably comes right towards the end where X-Pac about fucking decapitates Benoit.
Is that the moment where Benoit's brain went loopy and he murdered his family?
Yes.
That probably was the
time.
start.
I still say Nancy did it all.
I think a lot of that damage came from when The Rock would hit him with chairs. Those were some brutal chair shots. And then he threw him into that Coke machine. Or the Pepsi machine.
I miss chair shots.
I do too. There you
We
go.
all miss
You know
chair
why I don't do it.
Because of Chris Benoit?
Because you get hit in the head with a chair and then you murder people.
Yeah. Look at Jimmy
Makes you
Snuka.
think it was murder.
You can't prove that it was murder.
It was an inside job. It happened inside the house.
It was an inside job from inside WWE. Inside Man did it.
Repo Man did it.
That was the higher power.
was
Okay,
him, Austin.
so you guys don't really have much to say about this match. Let's talk about a match I'm sure we all have some opinions on. Stephanie McMahon versus Trish Stratus. I think
Yes.
this is the
This
sexiest
was
wrestling
back when
match
Stephanie
ever.
Stephanie was fucking tolerable.
She was tolerable, yes. I thought you were going to say when she was really hot. I was going to say no.
No, this is back when she was tolerable.
Yeah, she served a purpose, and I'm not advocating violence against women all the time, but in this case, it was nice when she would do dumb shit, she could get hit with the Stone Cold Stunner or the Rock Bottom or something.
Yeah.
Because it adds... There's consequences. And when your actions have consequences, there's more of an impact for the watcher, the viewer, to be like, oh shit, she did this. I can't wait till she gets her comeuppance at the pay-per-view. Nowadays, it's like, I'm going to slap this guy, kill his momentum, he's going to go away, and nothing's going to happen.
Yep.
Keep that bitch off TV forever. Ever. So, I remember watching this match on tape as a kid a lot. I used to rewind the part where Trish Stratus' pants got pulled up her ass and she had the Rikishi thing going on, as Jerry Lawler says.
Yep.
It was awesome. This was like one of Trish's better early matches. I'm not saying it was a 10 out of 10, but like I said earlier, it was a sexy match. It was two attractive women going at it like women would. It wasn't rehearsed like nowadays. There were no belly to Baileys and all this other dumb shit that they do. It was just, fighting and throwing water at each other and trying to fuck each other's faces up. I like it.
I thought you were just going to leave it at fuck each other's faces.
Yes.
It was a thick fucking of the century.
Hashtag Tom Phillips.
Hashtag.
I'm honestly surprised he wasn't reprimanded for that.
WWE
I
just
know,
let
it's kind
shit
of like
go.
nothing came of it.
Yeah, they didn't even talk. Like, they didn't even issue a statement. We do not condone what he did, and blah, blah, blah. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Corporate WWE is the worst thing to happen because while they think it's a good idea now, they're going to turn people off. Like, okay, for me, I may watch wrestling for 10 more years, but when I have kids, we're not going to watch wrestling. Not because I find it inappropriate, it's because it's so dumbed down that I don't want my kids watching dumb shit.
You have the network showing the old stuff.
Yeah.
But then they're going to want, they're going to see, The Rock on TV, and then they're going to want action figures of The Rock, and those are my action figures. I'm going to say, no, kids, you weren't born yet. This is my shit. Fuck you. But it's just kind of dad.
In that order.
I'm going to cuss at my kids when they want to touch my toys. You touch Batman, I'll kill you. Wow.
That's what being American's all about.
Spider-Man?
Fuck you.
That's what being American's all about, Dan? Beating your kids?
Because they
Yeah.
touch your Batman action figures?
Yeah.
Well, luckily, Batman will always be popular, so I'll just go to Toys R Us and get him a new Batman. But Michael Keaton will always be mine. But this isn't world-class bullshitters. I can't get into that shit. This is about ring rust. Dan, we're talking about the Trish Stratus-Stephanie McMahon match. What are your thoughts on it?
It happened.
Okay, good enough. On to the next one. Arguably the best match of the night. Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a 3 Stages of Hell match. Now, before we talk about this match, Dan, Kendo, you guys definitely remember the build-up to this match, because we were watching Raw. God, remember when you couldn't miss it? I remember the build-up to this match like it was yesterday. And beyond just watching the video package, I remember watching this each week and getting excited for it. Because Stone Cold and Triple H are two dudes that I like but don't really care about at the same time. So whoever would win would be fine by me.
Yeah, no, every week it was like escalation of bad things that could happen. It's like each week it was them at each other's throat, and it was a lot of fun to watch. Especially when Stephanie McMahon got the Stone Cold Stunner.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I can't lay my hands on you, Triple H? Well, I know somebody else I can lay my hands on. Boom, bitch got a stunner.
Dan?
Yeah. Good times.
Okay, so the first fall was a regular traditional wrestling match, which Stone Cold won. The second fall was a street fight, which Triple H won, and the third fall was a cage match, in which Triple H also won. In a pretty cool fashion, he just passed out and landed on top of Stone Cold.
Yeah, it was.
How much of those after they beat each other with shit, too.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
this is what pay-per-views need. They need a big match. They need to give you something you won't see on Raw and SmackDown. Nowadays, there is literally nothing on a pay-per-view, if you even call them that anymore, that you wouldn't be able to see on a Raw or SmackDown. They go slightly longer.
It's literally almost like a continuation of what you see on a weekly basis.
Well, the fact that they cut out their pay-per-view business was bad because it gives them no impetus to up their game. There are no more classic pay-per-view matches. We haven't had one of those since the network debuted. Maybe WrestleMania 30 was the last time we got a classic WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
Everything else has just kind of happened.
Yeah, I'm thinking, and I can't think of anything other than that. No.
Because the Daniel Bryan moment was awesome. Like, it's even though they didn't want to do it, it's the perfect story. It kind of sucks that he's injured afterwards, and they killed it. Because WWE would be a much different place if Daniel Bryan, because he never lost his popularity.
No, he's still just as popular now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, I can attest. Last week when I was there, his music hit and the entire fucking arena about exploded. Even for missing like almost an entire fucking side, it was still a big ass pop.
They inadvertently booked him perfectly, and that will never happen again. Until Vince McMahon dies, because his ego is just too powerful. That's what we're going to do next week. We're going to talk about how the WWE will improve when Vince McMahon dies. That'll be our main topic. So you guys don't have to watch a pay-per-view, even though I had one planned for us to watch, which was going to be the Royal Rumble 2002.
I
remember. Right?
I remember the Royal Rumble match.
Chris Jericho versus The Rock was a really good title match. We're talking...
I'll watch it anyway.
Yeah. Kendo, you watch it, I'll watch it. We'll talk about it next week, and the other guys can just be like, yeah.
No, I'll watch it. Fuck that. You kidding me?
Fine. Watch Royal Rumble 2002 this week. Phil, you got a 5-day weekend. It's a good show. Trust me.
Royal Rumble 2002.
Yep. The poster is of The Rock and stuff. Okay, so...
And
the Rock and stuff.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about how WWE would be better? Make it a super jam-packed episode?
Yeah, let's make next week's show... Wait, we're not going to have a show next week. It's the 4th of July. Aren't you guys going to be busy?
That's a Tuesday.
4th of July is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, next Wednesday. We may not have a show because next Wednesday is my mom's birthday. I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
If we do have one, awesome. If we don't, we'll just take everything we talk about now and do it the following week.
Okay.
So, listeners, follow us on Twitter to find out if we're going to have an episode.
That's right. You can find us at WCBS Ring Rust.
Using the hashtag something. I don't know.
What's
our hashtag for this?
That should just be it. Hashtag something.
Hashtag something. That'll get you a wrestling podcast jointly out of Ohio and Missouri.
Yay.
So let's talk about the implications of this Triple H Stone Cold match, because this really is the star of this show. Even though my favorite match is the main event, this match is so great. We have Stone Cold fresh off his return and his Royal Rumble victory. We have Triple H really off of the best year of his career so far with the year 2000. And these two guys meet up, and they're able to have a feud where no one looks weak, no one takes a step back. If anything, they were able to elevate each other, even though they're already on that upper plateau. Because at this point in both their careers, you could put the WWF title on them, they could carry any kind of show. Especially Stone Cold. This is almost during Stone Cold's decline. Maybe this is like the plateau of his career. Because realistically, after WrestleMania 17, his career is just a downward slope. You guys agree or disagree?
I can see that.
I would agree.
Because even if we take it back to 1999 where he spiked, he plateaued mid-year. And you had The Rock take over by the end of the year when Stone Cold was still on the show but couldn't wrestle as much. The Rock was doing his main event stuff, Triple H was doing his stuff, Mankind. So they really were okay without Stone Cold. That's one of the few times where the company loses their main star, and they do better without him. So, anyway, back to this match, though. Afterwards, I think the way they end the match was perfect, because Stone Cold wins to show that he's legitimately a better wrestler than Triple H, but Triple H wins the match to have some momentum. And they both go on to WrestleMania and have phenomenal matches, arguably two of the best of their careers. Do you guys agree with that, or?
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm blanking on the Triple H match, and you're going going to tell me I'm going to be a fucking idiot.
Undertaker.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone,
Fuck.
the way WWE frames it is like, oh, Undertaker, Triple H, they're great matches at WrestleManias 27 and 8. Hello, they had a match at WrestleMania 17, and it was better than both of them combined.
I'll have to go back and rewatch that because I'll be honest, I haven't seen all of WrestleMania X7. I've seen probably about the first half, and then I saw the main event.
You're a fucking asshole. You're fired until you watch the show.
Damn.
That's a new prerequisite to be my friend.
Fair enough.
I can see it now. We go hang out somewhere and just starts talking to somebody. It's like, dude, you're pretty cool. It's like, yeah, man, you like wrestling? Yeah, I do. Have you seen WrestleMania X7? No? Oh, okay. See you
Fuck
later.
you!
Yeah, I will punch a man in the face for not watching WrestleMania 17, the showcase of the Immortals. No, Loudy, besides it being the greatest pay-per-view of all time, hands down, I'm not even going to listen to anyone else's argument. Oh, I thought that, WrestleMania 3... Nope, you're wrong. I thought WrestleMania... Nope, you're wrong. Like, there is no other show that... It is a 5-star show from top to bottom. Even the weaker matches are still short enough to be entertaining. But this is not about that. This is about the pay-per-view that predates it by a month and change. A month and 6 days, or 7 days. So 5 weeks! Let's get specific. Do you guys remember what happened after this match on Raw or SmackDown?
Well,
I do not. This is during a portion of time where I was unable to catch that stuff.
Wasn't like the next night on Raw when Triple H came out and he was all, I've beaten everyone that's been before me, blah, blah, and then Undertaker's like, you haven't beaten me, motherfucker.
I'm going to go with yeah, because I don't remember. I was just going to ask you guys to fill in.
Distinctly remember when Undertaker would go on the wrestling and just be like, hey, touch me yet, motherfucker. Fucking want some, bitch?
Oh, I remember.
Well, I hope they didn't edit that out on the network. I need to hear him say motherfucker.
That
If
might just
you
be
watch-
how I remembered it, but I distinctly remember him calling Triple H a motherfucker. But
No,
I could be
think
wrong.
You're right. I think you're right.
Could be wrong.
And they didn't
If you
bleep
go
it
back
either.
and if you go back and watch the build up to the Undertaker or the Shawn Michaels. God, I can't even read the names in front of me. Triple H Stone Cold match. There's a lot of uncensored motherfuckers on those episodes of Raw, so I'd be interested to watch them to see if they're,
Oh, you know that they
Yeah,
went
they're
through all those with a fine-tooth comb for the network and fixed them.
They specifically stated in the press release everything would be uncut and uncensored.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
That
was
just-
Stephanie
to
McMahon's
sell
line
the
was,
network. Jeff, you should sue them.
I am not a paying member anymore. I use someone else's subscription, so I don't get my money.
Dan, you should sue them.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they just said the uncut and uncensored thing so they could put Chris Benoit on there and then say, well, I mean, we're trying to present it in its original formats, even though we don't agree with what this guy allegedly did.
Well, they need to show Jacqueline's tits from Capital Carnage 98.
Yes.
Because I love a good pair of tits,
That wa-
chocolate or vanilla.
That wasn't even the first time they came out. Jacqueline's came out a few times. Because there was episodes of like Raw or something like that where they came out a couple times. Because I remember, like I said, this was like right before I'd go to bed, and I was like 15, 16, so I was in that zone. So I was looking for that shit.
You were jerking.
I was in the zone.
Ken Shamrock style.
Yeah.
I remember watching wrestling and thinking, like, oh my god, I might see boobs on wrestling and get excited. I mean, you never did, but they didn't tell you, like, oh, you'll never see it. This is a safe, sanitary environment for your children. Like, more kids were watching back then than they are now.
True.
Everybody was into wrestling in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was the cool thing.
It was entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
It was great entertainment. It was the best they've ever been. Even WCW is okay.
Oh, yeah. We'd watch the hell out on Monday.
Up until like 2000.
Yeah.
I
Go
saw.
to the next day, and that's all we talked about. It happened on
Speaking
Raw
of-
and Nitro.
Speaking of WCW, Chris Jericho posted on Instagram the other day. He found an old check that he never cashed from WCW for 15 cents.
Nice.
And a stamp cost 33 cents
Yeah.
back then. I saw that post.
Yeah, he's like, the stamp cost 33 cents back then. They spent more money sending me this check than the check is actually worth.
America.
Chris
That's
Jericho.
funny.
No wonder they went out of business.
So the next match is pretty short. It's no, it's not. It's the third shortest match on the show because fuck, Stone Cold Triple H was 39 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was longer than the last two matches combined. It was Steven Richards with Ivory versus Jerry Lawler with the Cat. The Cat, all she wanted to do was get naked on TV. All I wanted to do is see her naked on TV.
I second
Which
that.
means-
Instead,
Everybody wanted the King to win.
Yes.
yeah, he didn't, and he quit in real life because his wife Stacy the Cat Carter got fired, and then Paul Heyman showed up the next night on Raw. As a kid, I did not know who Paul Heyman was, so it took me a while to get used to him. But I like Paul Heyman.
I like him. His commentary style can be expressed in one word. Wham!
Pow, right in the kisser.
Like, seriously, I watched WrestleMania X7 a couple weeks ago, and just in the first match, Jericho William Regal, he says wham like 7 times.
I can't wait till we do a WrestleMania 17. You know what I'd really like is once this show got big enough, we're all on it, we can do a live stream of WrestleMania. Like, basically, we'll do a live stream commentary of WrestleMania 17.
Drunken
People can
commentary?
pull up- I'm down.
Yes.
Drink every time fucking Paul Heyman says wham.
We'd be
What
waiting.
we'd have to do is we should all go to Phil's house to record it. Kenda, since you're in Missouri, we'll just have to call you on Skype.
I could always make
But-
a special trip if I really needed to, because this sounds
That
like
would be amazing.
this sounds like something where I'm like, all right, guys, I'm leaving on Friday. I'll be back on Sunday, maybe.
Your liver can't handle it. He dies. You're in a 20-year coma.
Be like, I'm going to
Dun,
Cincinnati.
dun.
Why are you going to Cincinnati? Because I have to.
I have to watch WrestleMania 17, a show that
Go-
happened 17 years ago.
I got to go
Going
watch
to
pay per
Cincinnati.
view from 16 years ago.
I'm going to Cincinnati. Why? Fuck you.
I'm going to meet Brian Lape.
Because I fucking wanna, ma.
You gotta meet him at Target though if you're gonna meet Brian Lay.
I was supposed to meet him at a bar if I ever am in the area, he said.
Well, Loudy hangs out with him in Target parking lots, and I don't want to get into details.
I was really
Private.
just hoping that was his way of picking up on me. Be like, hey, I'll meet you at the bar. Be like, all right.
All right, all
Brian
right.
Lape's whole family is a lie.
I know he's going to
He's
listen, so that's why I threw that in there.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Brian.
That's right.
Yeah, happy birthday, Brian.
We'll
Brian,
give you a
happy
shout. We'll give
birthday.
you a birthday shout out on the Good Show.
It's your birthday, Brian. Happy birthday, Brian.
Okay, so this match was short. Let's talk about the next one. The Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian versus the Brothers of Destruction. Triple threat tag team match triple threat tables match for the tag team championship.
Woo!
This was really good.
Yeah. That was great.
It was.
Yeah, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I've seen this match probably about 6 or 7 times. This was during the
Yeah.
height of ENC.
I just like how scared they looked when they came out.
They were awesome.
I just thought it. Oh, they were. I just think their fear kind of added to the match, especially there towards the end. And I was also okay with Rikishi and Haku coming out, interfering with the Brothers of Destruction.
I had been to an episode of SmackDown around the time of this pay-per-view, maybe 3 or 4 weeks prior, and I saw Undertaker fight Haku in a First Blood match.
And you said, and I quote, "Who the fuck is Haku?
Haiku.
That is not Haiku.
Who the fuck is
575.
Haiku?"
To be fair, this was during the era where I never missed an episode of Raw or SmackDown, so I knew everybody. I was a mark before I knew what marks were.
Even
I was so
Haiku.
into this.
I've always been a mark, apparently.
You're a mark.
The worst is Loudy. Loudy's beyond a mark. He's like a
Marky Mark?
not even a. He's a marky mark. He's a whole funky bunch.
I am a whole funky bunch.
You would literally blow Shinsuke Nakamura if he asked.
No, I wouldn't do that. There's
yeah, you
limits.
A Tuggy?
Nope.
He bought another Nakamura shirt the other night.
No. I bought my first Nakamura shirt. I don't have one.
Why do you need all these wrestling T-shirts?
I don't know. I've got a problem.
You really
how many
Really?
of them? How many of them have you not worn yet, Loudy?
I've worn all of them at least once.
No.
Did you wear anything else besides wrestling T-shirts in Florida?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All wrestling T-shirts.
The only thing I wore besides a wrestling T-shirt in Florida was my Jiggity Woohoo shirt.
You guys do know just because we go to
It's a really
WrestleMania
nice shirt.
doesn't mean we have to dress like wrestling fans all the time.
I think
Well,
I
I
only
didn't.
have one wrestling shirt.
As I say, I didn't wear wrestling shirts the night we went to Miami.
I didn't either.
I wore my button.
You couldn't buy any either because I held your wallet for you.
Yeah. Thanks for making
Oh,
sure I
no.
didn't buy any wrestling shirts that night.
Gave up.
I'm gonna come to your house and hold your wallet for you right now so you don't buy any more. So this match, like I said, was good. It was 12 minutes long. It is the last tag team title match, I believe, before TLC 2 at WrestleMania, which would feature two of these teams.
And some
I was going
I
to say,
just
what were the Hardy Boys doing at this time that they weren't included in this match?
I was just about to say that, because Matt Hardy was in the dark match against Rikishi. Where the fuck was Jeff?
Doing drugs.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Oh, drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine, the
Okay.
shit's insane.
So let's talk about the main event. My favorite wrestler, The Rock, defeated Kurt Angle for the WWF Championship in a solid match.
Your favorite wrestler's The Rock? I have not noticed.
I never would have
Yeah, our
guessed.
friendship's built on a
I
line.
never once
I-
picked that up.
I picked up on it. He's been really subtle about the hints, but I was able to put that together.
It's not The Rock, it's Rocky Rock.
Rocky Maivia.
Rocky Rock and the Rocky Bunch?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, Kendo, I like The Rock, but not Rocky Maivia, not the Nation of Domination, none of that shit. I can go back to post-Nation, pre-corporation Rock all the way through now, but not a Nation fan at all. Don't give a fuck about those guys.
I was okay with the Nation. I hated Rocky Maivia. I wasn't in the die Rocky die camp, but I was just like, God, this guy sucks.
But did you want to be in that camp?
No, not really. I just,
Would they just not let you in?
yeah, pretty much. My check bounced.
Well, the first time I saw The Rock, he was cutting a promo on the Big Boss Man, calling him a candy ass. I was like, this is cool. And then he beats the guy up, and I'm like, all right, well, if he can say this shit and back it up, I'm a fan. And then that was it. Pretty much it was a one-time deal. I was like, all right, I like this dude. He's cool.
R.I.P. Big Boss Man.
Yeah, you have the best Ray trailer. I had to babysit my grandma last week. We were watching Family Feud, and the guy was a cop from Cobb County, Georgia. And I literally went, Big Boss Man! I screamed it. Everyone looked at me like I was an asshole. I am
Hard
an asshole, but-
times.
You be savage.
Go between hard times. You know that big boss man will make you walk the line.
Loudy.
You know what's nice
Yeah.
is that since we're a small channel, we're not
Stop.
monetized, we can sing and play wrestling music the entire show.
Cool.
Because there's no monetization for 14 subscribers.
We could always play
I can dig
name that wrestler based on his entrance tune one night.
I will win.
Yeah, probably.
No, I'm going to find ones that'll fuck you up.
Fucking bring it next week.
Billy Kidman.
I love Billy Kidman's theme. It sounds like DMX, but it's not. You can run if you want to.
Just get
Run, but you can't hide.
I'm going to play Kid Cash's theme and confuse you.
Dun, 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 dun.
We'll play Jeff's favorite theme. Toodle!
Fuck you.
Dude, what's wrong with Dude Love? I love me some Dude Love.
Every
I
time
don't.
it comes on, he gets so angry.
This is what's wrong with his theme.
I always think of Dude Love from WrestleMania 2000 because that game couldn't support full motion video for the Titantrons, so it was just like a foot, and then it was like a moon, and then he would appear, and I was like, this guy's an idiot. I can't believe this is Mick Foley.
Hilarious.
I'm so glad you know what it is, Dan, because it's the worst entrance ever, and then he does the knee thing.
And it looks
Dude,
so
you
bad.
Leave the
I
knee
love
thing,
it.
alone.
I love this
was so
stupid
stupid.
hokey shit. It's funny.
There's a difference between stupid hokey shit and Dude Love.
No, No, there's not.
I'm pretty sure Dude Love was supposed to be stupid hokey shit.
Yeah, so was Cactus Jack.
No.
This Jack was not hokey. What the fuck are you talking
No,
about?
the Cactus Jack.
Phil's
that was
doing
like his
drugs again,
hardcore
guys.
persona.
I love making you guys pissed off.
Don't piss me off.
That is a wrestler we'll never talk about on this show.
Piss off?
Fuck you.
Okay.
I've
I
never
mean,
heard
the
a
last
wrestler
reference
named
I
Piss
make.
Off.
Let's talk about this main event, though.
You're a main event.
All right, thank you, sir. I pride myself in being the main event of this show.
Fuck you.
So, the match pretty much ends with a fucking botch by Earl Hebner.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, that 2 count where Angle supposedly gets the shoulder up. He doesn't.
That's what I got mad at me. That's what I was upset about. I was watching that match before. I just screamed out, "What the fuck?" He didn't even fucking move.
No. I do love the ending, how Kurt Angle is crying as The Rock walks away.
Yeah, I
with the
like that
championship.
too. That was good.
Kurt Angle was the coolest dude to ever cry.
He was touched.
He didn't even have a broken freaking neck. I don't know why he's so emotional at this point. A lot of people on the internet like to argue that Kurt Angle should have main evented that WrestleMania. No. Just like Chris Jericho really shouldn't have main evented WrestleMania 18.
Jeff was just like, no.
No, really, think about it. Everyone's like, well, Kurt Angle. Look, Kurt Angle in 2001 wasn't the Kurt Angle that everyone goes on about nowadays. 2001 Kurt Angle was a good wrestler, but he was really just looked on as a joke. I mean,
He was more of a comic job.
Yeah. They would make jokes about him being a virgin and all that stuff, and his 3 eyes, and he would only make jokes about sports teams. He wouldn't cuss. He was real, white bread, straight-laced, and boring, Kurt Angle. And this loss was needed because that Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania wouldn't have made WrestleMania 17 as memorable as it was. It would have just been a good show with a stupid main event.
I agree.
So, this was The Rock's 5th WWF Championship, which was, I think the only other person that had that many title reigns at that point was Hulk Hogan. We're talking WWF only, we're not talking WCW, because Ric Flair was already a 16-time champion by this point.
Oh, okay, then you're right.
Yeah, this is strictly WWF. I don't think we'll ever do a WCW. Well, we can do WCW shows. You guys just got to pick them, and I'll watch them.
I got that.
Bash the Beach 2001.
No, there isn't.
Hey, I'm watching it right now, Loudy. It's so good. Scott Steiner versus me in a Judy Bagwell on a stripper pole match.
Yes.
No, what you need to watch is that Hulk Hogan versus Jeff Jarrett match.
That was a great match.
That's at 2000.
That's what I meant, 2000.
You know, it was a great match, Jeff. That stripper on a stripper pole match.
Yeah, it was great until I realized that she bought her lingerie at the $3 store, and then I just lost my boner.
Oh, god damn it. No, she didn't.
That just tears off
Goddamn
easier.
$3 store.
Jeff,
Dan.
this would be The Rock's 6th world title.
Was it his 6th?
Yes.
Let's see. I guess it was. I guess his 5th was at King of the Ring. Okay. So that's why. Okay, yeah. Cool. Then he had the most title reigns of anybody at this point in time.
Yep.
I remember watching this as a kid, or I didn't get to watch the pay-per-view, but remember how Heat would show you the arenas for the pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm.
I would watch Heat religiously.
Back when Heat mattered.
Yeah, when it wasn't from WWF New York.
Man, there's something that I haven't heard in a while. WWF New York.
If you watch this pay-per-view like you're supposed to, you heard about it.
Yeah.
I obviously heard about it. I just mean it's been a minute since I've heard about it, like, for current shit.
Because Buster Rhymes was there.
Yes, he was in the
Remember when
fucking...
the big Go ahead.
I was saying, and your European champion Test was there, too.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He is.
He's very dead. He is not breathing.
R.I.P.
Nope.
He's breathing in heaven.
Do you know that for sure, though? He could be in hell.
I don't.
I feel like after he got screwed over by Stephanie and Stacy Keibler and Kelly, God was just like, you know what? I'm just going to give you a pass. Come on up here, buddy.
You get a chance,
Let's
man.
get
It's so cool.
some real hoes.
Be like, you've essentially gone through hell, so come on in.
Yeah, we're going to hang out through eternity, and you can tell me stories about the Big Boss Man and Albert.
How good was Stephanie at giving head? Oh, really?
You can't.
What's
So if
like
we're
being
gonna-
part of TNA?
I got to see Trish Stratus change a couple times. It was cool.
You deserve to be here then.
Yeah. If you describe her labia to me, I will give you superpowers.
Bro, pictures didn't happen.
Super test.
He comes back from the grave.
Super test.
I would get a.
Hey guys, they said I died 10 years ago, but fuck, I'm back.
I would get a job with WWE just to see Trish Stratus naked, and then take pictures and immediately get fired, and possibly arrested.
Sounds like
If
the
you had
worst.
superpowers,
That sounds like
or-
the worst idea in history.
Let's do
No,
it.
you should go ahead and do it so I can have naked pictures of Trish. But can we time travel to the year 2000?
Yes.
No, it has to be
Just call the
40-year-old
doc.
Trish.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
call the doc, Jeff.
It's kind of like those people that were all excited that Sonny did porn. It's like, no, that's Sonny now. You want Sonny 1998.
495
No.
even. Shit.
Yeah.
Now, fans, if you're not sure if Test is dead or not, go to Twitter and follow @IsTestStillDead. And they will tell you if Test is alive or dead still.
Yeah, it's important.
We should do one of those for Roman Reigns. Does Roman Reigns suck? And we'll just tweet back every day. Yes.
They did a poll. Is Test still dead?
I'll create.
66% of the people said yes, he is.
I'll create a Twitter account that's WWE fans, and I'll ask you that question every day, Jeff.
Deal. So what would you guys give this pay-per-view on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm going to give it a 9.
I'd
Yeah.
give it about a 9.
He's gonna give it about a yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but
Instead about a 9, jackass.
I'll give it an 8.
That's all, folks.
Give it a 9.
9.
Kendo?
9.
Oh, shit. Yeah, like, for real, this is WWF at their best. Outside of WrestleMania 17, they didn't put on a better show that year. SummerSlam was great. I know a lot of people like to shit on the invasion angle, but overall, we'll talk about SummerSlam another week. But this show, I love it. The only reason I don't give it a 10 is because WrestleMania is a 10, and that would mean it's equal to WrestleMania, and it's not.
No.
Nothing is equal to that WrestleMania.
We could do the best SummerSlams before SummerSlam.
We will. We will do a whole SummerSlam episode the Tuesday or the Wednesday before SummerSlam. How's that?
There we go.
Hooray.
And then we can go, yep, this is because SummerSlam is SummerSlammy.
Yeah, we can talk about that ladder match.
We talk about
Triple H on the
Summerfest.
It's
Summerfest.
SummerSlam and Slammy Slam.
Summerfest.
With Jeff Harvey.
Yes.
And Summer Rae.
No.
I'd fuck her.
I follow
Well,
her
yeah.
on Instagram. I'm not disappointed.
I don't like her face.
You don't
I don't
have
like her
to.
face
You don't have
either.
to look
Or
at
her body,
face.
really. She's no. Yeah, I'm okay.
Her
If
face
she
looks like
came up
that
to
because
you
she
and
played
offered-
football.
Look, if she came up to you and offered to blow you, you're gonna say yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to turn down a blowjob. That's just...
From anyone?
So then,
So shut up.
yeah, Loud, if you want to blow me, go ahead.
Oh, I'm all set.
so the WWF actually started out the year strong with fucking Royal Rumble 01. That was a good ass show too. You had the good Triple H Kurt Angle match. You had you had Benoit, Jericho, and that awesome ladder match with the greatest chair shot of all time.
I love that chair shot.
You had some hardcore aspects brought into the Royal Rumble. You had a great Royal Rumble match. And you had Drew Carey.
Hall of Famer Drew Carey.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
All right, so before we close out this week's show, we have a very special segment. that we're going to debut. So, every week, we're going to give you a chapter in the life and times of my immortal Hulk Hogan, brother. And this week, Kendo Slice himself is going to read you his chapter. And then the next week, we'll have a new chapter of the story of my immortal Hulk Hogan. So, Kendo Slice, without further ado.
All right, let's do this thing. All right, so this is chapter 4th of July, brother. This day started like any other, brother, let me tell ya. I awoke like I always do in the morning and went to the bathroom. After taking care of the Hulkster's bodily functions, I showered up and then flexed in the mirror. The pythons were looking amazing, and all I could think about was pumping the iron and crushing a giant meal at Pasta Mania, brother. I picked out my favorite yellow shirt, pulled up my trunks, laced up my boots, and tied on my best bandana, brother. And then it all began to get strange, brother. I got my cross necklace, thought about how Andre the Giant had betrayed me and broke it in the past. Shed a Hulkster tear for my fallen brother, and put it on. Suddenly, I was standing in a place that looked really strange. I had no idea where I was, brother. I wasn't at Venice Beach. I wasn't at the garden. There were no Hulkamaniacs running around, brother. I was in colonial America, I think, brother. I wandered down the street, looking at old buildings and seeing everyone in their old clothing, and they were all staring at me, brother. Out of nowhere, I found myself standing in front of a building I remember well, brother. It was Independence Hall, the birthplace of freedom, brother. The birthplace of America, brother. I was excited, brother. I was pumped. I could feel the power and the energy of all Americans flowing through my veins, brother. I had to go inside. I had to take that tour, brother. I ran through the doors, and I felt American pride coursing through my veins, brother. I wished that the Iron Sheik was here, or Sergeant Slaughter, when he was an Iraqi sympathizer, which was one of the best angles in wrestling history, brother. If only some foreign anti-American wrestler was here, I would take care of them, brother. I'd get kicked around for about 10 minutes. Then I would suddenly feel the power of all the Hulkamaniacs. It would hit me, and I would shake my head no at him. He would hit me again, and once again I would shake my head no at him. Then right before he struck me one more time, I would look at him and point, and say, "You!" Then I would start to punch him back, followed by the big boot. I'd hit the ropes, brother, and bring the big leg across his chest, cover him up, and there would be 1, 2, 3, ring the bell, because Hulk Hogan has won for America again, brother. But I digress, brother, because there was no tour at all. There was a lot of guys in a room, and they were having a meeting, brother. I quietly walked in and took a seat, brother, because they all looked serious to the Hulkster. Next page. We need to pass a resolution to let the king know and his empire know that if we are due self-governance and do not belong to them to do with as they say fit. Whoa, brother. Is this a recreation of the Declaration of Independence? Am I in a movie being made? What's going on, brother? About that time, brother, all the guys in the room turned and looked at the Hulkster and began whispering. Who is this man? Yelled some dude from... Who is this man? Yelled some dude from the front of the room. I stood up and told them that I am the Hulkster, brothers, and I was wondering what's going on in here. I finally realized what was going on, brother. The Hulkster wasn't at some museum tour. The Hulkster was at the actual Declaration of Independence signing. Somehow, I entered a time loop portal thingy, and now I am helping the USA become the USA, brother. What say you, stranger? I heard coming from many of the dudes in the hall, so I stood up and told them, I am Hulk Hogan, brother. I am a real American, and I fight for the rights of every man. Suddenly, the hall broke out into a huge round of applause. The Hulkster was getting a massive crowd pop, brother, The Hulkster was getting a massive crowd pop, brother, and the day's end, every one of the founding fathers would be Hulkamaniacs, brother. I could feel the power and energy of independence flowing through my body. The pythons were glistening, and that's when I walked to the front and told them all that they needed to declare independence because the king wasn't down with Hulkamania, brother. Next page. I stood up and told them all, listen, all you founding fathers, because we have a problem here in America. We have these foreign powers trying to tread all over the red, white, and blue, brother. So listen up, King George, because the Hulkster's coming for you, brother. I've got all the Hulkamaniacs behind me and an army of little Hulksters at my back. So ask yourself, King George, what you gonna do, brother, when Hulkamania and the American colonies run wild on you? The hall erupted, brother, and they all stood up chanting Hulkster at me, brother. I led them out of the hall, and they marched right behind me down the road. We celebrated the birth of a new nation, brother, a nation born out of love, of freedom, and Hulkamania. Last paragraph. We were sitting around an inn, and I was telling Ben Franklin about how I overcame the odds time and time again to fight back and take some of the biggest, toughest guys in the WWE, brother. I went to relieve myself, brother, because after an evening of food and drink with Ben Franklin, you eventually have to drain the biggest python of all, brother. I cleaned up and took off my necklace for a moment, and suddenly found myself instantly back in my house, brother. It was all over, brother. Was it a dream or was it real? Did I time travel, brother? I had no idea. So I sat down, had a can of Pasta Mania, and decided it was time to train, say my prayers, and take my vitamins. The end.
That was pretty good stuff, man.
I know.
What a way to start the fucking saga of My Immortal Hulk Hogan, sir.
I was slightly worried because due to our inspiration, I'm like, I don't have such a horrible fucking grasp of the English language that I can make it sound so terrible with terrible spelling and grammar. So I just brothered up.
All the brothers. Brother Jack, dude, brother.
Loudy, I can't wait till it's your time to do your chapter, because you do a pretty good Hulk Hogan voice.
Well, let me
I
tell you
appreciate it.
something, man.
Yeah, mine is terrible.
It doesn't matter. It was still fun.
Brother.
So this has been episode 3 of the reboot of Ring Rust. We will be back possibly next week, and if not next week, the week after, where we will review the Royal Rumble 2002, and we'll talk about... What else did we say we were going to talk about?
How WWE will become and get better after Vince McMahon finally fucking dies.
There you go. So that is episode 4. Get excited.
I'm pumped.
If you enjoy this show, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit up the Facebook page, shoot us an email at ringrust@mail.com, the best mail.
.com.
Bob Dole!
And follow us over on Twitter, WCBS Ringrust. Also, if you're curious what that WCBS means, it stands for World Class Bullshitters, the best goddamn podcast on the internet.
Give them your fucking money.
Yeah, find us and give us some dollars. We'll
Buy
tell
a
you more about
goddamn
it tomorrow
t-shirt.
night.
Where can they buy that t-shirt?
Incarnate-studios.com, and don't forget the fucking hyphen.
Don't forget the fucking Bob Dole.
Don't forget that Bob.
Bob Dole! Bob Dole! Bob Dole!
Bob Dole, vote for Bob Dole.
I'm Bob Dole.
All right, well, I've been your host, Jeff Hicks.
Dan Kane.
I've been the coach. Go home and tell your mother I said hi.
Dan Kane.
I've been Kendo Slice. Brother.
Dan Kane.
Bob Dole! Bob Dole! Bob Dole!
Dan Kane.
I think Phil had a stroke. He just keeps saying Bob Dole.
Bob Dole!
He saw one of those old Viagra commercials. Now he's...